Mika Mizobuchi, Zachary Slocumb, and Hannah Lutz. These are our high school Gender Sexuality Alliance leaders and trailblazers.
Hi everyone, my name is Paul and I'm one of the officers for Rye High School's Gender Sexuality Alliance. Along with me are Hannah Lutz, Mika Mizobuchi, and Zach Slocumb. We're so thankful for all of you for coming to this event. It's really exciting to see so many people showing support for positive change in our community. As one of Pride's 3 senior interns this year, I'm delighted to see so many people buying our Pride flags to place around town in order to show their support for both the Pride organization and the LGBTQ+ community. This is the first step of many that we have to take as a city towards progress, towards inclusion and social awareness. As part of this progress, we must also acknowledge that when oppressive institutions target one minority group, they are almost always reinforcing the oppressions of other groups. This web of minority oppression is the reason why intersectionality is vital to every conversation of LGBTQ+ rights. The Rye GSA wholeheartedly stands with the Black Lives Matter movement, and every step forward that we advocate for is in addition to the necessary reforms we have to make to establish racial justice in the city. These reforms start with conversations like this one, and nowhere are these conversations more important than in our local government.
There are many steps the city government needs to take to support LGBTQ+ people in our community. This starts with a frank discussion of our expectations of support in the pursuit of equality. The existence of LGBTQ+ people in Rye is a fact and not a political opinion. We cannot frame these people's existence as a controversial issue. We must support the LGBTQ+ community within our people within our community, and the first step in doing so is acknowledging that the anti-LGBT behavior that continues to exist in Rye. As many of you know, the postponement of the library's Drag Queen Story Hour was a difficult time for the LGBT community and the city as a whole. However, this wave of opposition has, in turn, sparked a decision within Rye and has given our GSA the momentum to make real change. Now that our community is beginning to have important dialogue about these complex issues, we can come together to identify what needs to change.
In that same vein, it would be a mistake not to emphasize the indelible connection between the LGBTQ+ community and the Black community. As we celebrate Pride today and every day, we must never lose sight of the fact that the first Pride was an uprising against violent racist police officers spearheaded by Black trans women. If you're here, there's a good chance you've read the educational literature that Pride circulated, but if you haven't and have not learned about the Stonewall riots, please take the time to learn about the LGBTQ+ history and be a force for good. In our collective fight for justice, we must continually center those most vulnerable, and that is why this Pride Month, we refuse to divert the conversation away from our current civil rights movement. Instead, we remember that these two movements are inextricably connected and ultimately fighting for the same cause, justice for all oppressed peoples.
In Rye, the GSA seeks to push the city to have a more progressive future. We hope that our government and Rye City School District will continue to push for a space that is inclusive, just, and focused on equality for all. With the support of our community, with the support our community is showing right now, we can create significant change to be seen throughout our community. And this event is the first step in the right direction for Rye to become a more inclusive space where we can all celebrate diversity instead of discouraging it. Thank you.